Hey, everybody. Whoa, hi. Stuart O'Keefe, hello.
Hi.
It's good to see you.
What's going on?
I have to always check that everything's in its place. We're getting started. Okay, so your cookbook just came out today.
I know. That's me.
That's you.
That's me.
This is exciting. This is your first book.
Yeah, it's my first book.
It's already an Amazon bestseller, by the way.
It is. That's pretty cool. I'm blown away by it. I moved here, 12 years ago, and
Tell everyone where you moved here from.
came in from Ireland.
Where in Ireland? Ow, that gets an ow.
I was born in Limerick, and I grew up in a small town called Nenagh, Nenagh. So it's like, like the fire brigade, Nina, like that kind of thing.
I didn't know that. What is
And I grew up cooking with my mom, my aunt, the usual story, forced in the kitchen to cut carrots and mashed potatoes and stuff like that, and would bake with my aunt after school, and I kind of just loved doing it. It was kind of like a subconscious thing. I kind of just always enjoyed being.
And how old was this when you kind of knew?
Probably 8, 9.
That's young to know.
Yeah, when I look back at it now, I'm like, yeah, I was kind of a crazy person then, and in the kitchen and just wanting to help out and loved desserts and whipping meringues and making pavlova with berries and cream and things like that. Just simple things, and then I would help my mom.
Just simple things like meringues. That sounds kind of hard, actually.
It's really not. It's egg whites, and
you
sugar.
Just whip them
basically.
into a frenzy.
Bake it for an hour and a half, and
okay,
it's pretty easy. But so I would do that, and in Ireland, same in America as well. You'd need to find out what you're going to be for the rest of your life when you're 16 years of age, and nobody actually knows what they're going to do. And I didn't anyway, and so. You look at the list of things what am I good at in high school? I don't know. I love French, but am I good at it? Not really. But and I saw there was this new course, Culinary Arts in Dublin Institute of Technology, and I wanted to get out of the small town where I was living too. I just was so over it. It was just such a small place, and I was like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to really enjoy it. I really feel like I will. I went there, did 4 years, spent 6 months in France during the 4 years, got my degree, and got on the first plane to America after that. And that's kind of how it happened. That's how I kind of ended up here. I went to Napa Valley for 2 years, from 2006 to 2008, and I just loved it. As soon as I landed in America, I was like, there's no way I'm going home. There's just not a hope. And did that, moved to Los Angeles, tried the acting thing like everybody does, and I was like, there's no way. This is so embarrassing for me.
What was it that told you that it wasn't right for you?
Well, I did these, these soap opera, acting classes, and they would ask me, you get a script and you have to learn it, obviously, and then go in. And that was my first obstacle. I go in. It was like homework. And I was like, this is meant to be fun. This is not fun. This is really hard.
Yeah.
And I would just start sweating, and it just was awful. I just was I did the 8 weeks of it, and then I was like, no. But I was I'm glad I tried it.
But cooking was still in the back of your mind.
Yeah, I always did cooking, and I kind of started to get into dinner parties. Didn't want to work in a restaurant because I did that when I was in France, and I did that in Dublin, and people were mean, and I'm not a mean person. I don't think I am, but and I just didn't like the way people were treated in the kitchen that way. I was like, you're taking the fun out of cooking. I love doing this, and I took a break for a year when I first moved to Los Angeles. I kind of wanted to figure out what I wanted to do and so forth, and I had a restaurant manager's job, and that's kind of how I met my manager, Jason, and Jason saw me. He was like, oh, you have a funny accent, and and I think I can sell you to places. And I was like, prostitution, awesome. But no, he was a manager at ICM at the time, or a endorsement agent at ICM at the time, and he was like, no, I think you have something really kind of cool going, and let's talk more and so forth. And that's kind of how it started, and he pitched me to the Tupperware campaign. And I got that. It was my first campaign I got. I was a spokesperson in America and Canada for 2 years. And then while I did that, Private Chefs of Beverly Hills on Food Network was casting. And so I went on to that show, terrified. It was the first reality show.
So this was basically a bunch of chefs kind of being mistreated by...
Yeah, exactly. In Beverly Hills. Exactly.
Kind of rich people who... Do they actually... Okay, so you've also cooked for some housewives. I won't name them.
Yeah.
The housewives that are real... And do they just push the food around? I feel like they actually eat it.
It's,
Are they demanding?
Sometimes you'll make food and then they'll just walk away, and you're
Because
like,
I feel like cooking in LA, it's kind of like, I feel like, you have like an hors d'oeuvre and that's an entire meal out there.
that. I mean, it used to be like that. It's not like that anymore. Like
No?
some of them are savages. Like they are. They just
Really?
like dig into their food. Like they love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I make good food, Brian. Like
I
that's-
believe
so
that.
they eat
I
it.
believe that you do.
You know?
That's quick and easy to prepare. I used to do the cater waitering thing, and I would always, first of all, at a party, I'm always a sure thing. Like when the caterer comes around, like, do you want one? I'm always a yes. They start to recognize you like you're a sure thing. I'm the sure thing. But so you did the catering thing. You've done. I've seen you with Kris Jenner. I've seen you with Felicity Huffman, right?
Yeah.
What would you say? Okay, let's back up a little bit. What would you say you'd be doing if you weren't cooking? What would you be doing? Do you know?
I'd be doing probably like graphic design and like web design. That's what I feel like I would be doing. Because when I was in high school, the only A I got was art. It was the only one I was able to like get an A in. So from that, I would gather I would really have been good at it and enjoyed it.
What is the one thing? So your book is called The Quick 6 Fix,
Yeah.
and it is 6 minutes, 6 ingredients, 6 minutes prep, and 6 minutes cleanup.
Yes.
So very simple, easy, delicious. What in this book is the one thing you just can't get enough of that you could cook all the time for
I
people?
love the Asian spare ribs. I
Who
love
doesn't
ribs.
love ribs?
I
That's
love
kind of
ribs.
like a sure thing, right?
You guys have ruined my life since I moved to America. Like their ribs here are like just unbelievable. Like I have to go to all the different states because they have all different types of ribs here. I still need to discover a lot of them. I don't know. I'm just obsessed with them. Like anything, like meat on the bone. Like people like hate like go out to dinner with me, like my friends.
Why is that?
It's just- I'm
Would
just
you
a
eat them like
slob.
with reckless abandon? What do you
No,
look like a
yeah,
hot
I mean
mess?
it is. It's like where was he born? Like people are like looking at me and like there's like napkins everywhere. Like there's like bones on the ground. Like seriously, it happens.
You're
like,
savage.
No, it is. It's the same when I go to the movie theater. Like I eat popcorn. There's like more popcorn on the seats in the ground than like that goes into my mouth.
You love food.
It's
So-
I'm a bit of a beast.
Yeah.
But
So you're Irish. How tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
Okay, 6'2", Irish, full head of hair, and cooks. Like, look at me and then tell me life is fair. Like, I'm 5'11", balding. Okay, in the kitchen. I had a Pop-Tart for lunch, but this is don't tell me that life is fair.
I don't have
Okay,
a Pop-Tart.
I'm going to ask you a few questions because I'm sure
Super scared right now. Go on.
be totally scared. I'm sure because of the Irish thing, like TV shows like to parade you out on St. Patrick's Day and be like, he's
Yes.
Irish, so let's make, what is it you make on St. Patrick's Day? Corned beef and cabbage?
Corned beef and cabbage, Irish
Okay.
stew,
So
mashed
let's
potatoes.
clear the air on a few Irish.
Okay, I hope I know these because I'm
They're not
usually really
they're not
bad at them.
necessarily-
If it's
they're not
history,
necessarily-
like forget about
They're
it.
not like trivia. They're not quiz questions. It's really just where you stand on some certain Irish lore,
Okay.
if you will. Okay, do all Irishmen drink Guinness? When's the last time you had a Guinness?
When I was in Ireland, probably.
That's like 7 years ago, right?
No,
Oh, no,
I was
over the
there at
holidays.
Christmas.
Okay,
I was there on the
alright.
holidays.
Easy.
I had like
Right.
9 one night. It was good.
Okay, have you ever done? You had a what?
We had like 9 one night.
9?
We go out and drink. Like,
Okay, so
Family
can
and
Irishmen hold their liquor better than other people?
I think so.
yeah. Let's generalize entire cultures while we're here, shall
No,
we?
but I really do think so.
It's
Like,
generally, everyone loves when people do that.
like we do because it rains all the time, so we're always in the pub. It's like one
Yeah.
of those things.
Okay. Have you ever done an Irish exit? Do you know what an Irish exit is? That's a thing here. Do you know what
Oh yeah,
exit?
an Irish goodbye.
Yeah, I've
Irish
heard
exit,
Irish
Irish
exit,
goodbye,
Irish
yeah.
goodbye. Yeah, I'm the master of that.
Like I don't do an Irish goodbye. I just like leave.
Well, that's
So
what an
because
Irish.
I'm
Isn't that what an
Irish,
Irish
it's the
goodbye
Irish goodbye.
is? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, but
Like when
I-
this interview is
but
over,
I
I'm
just
not
call-
even going to close it out.
But
I'm
I
just going to walk away.
I just call it leaving.
Yeah, well, that is, but that's like not saying goodbye. Like you secretly grab a coat.
no,
say you have food
But I
poisoning
do
if anyone
because
asks.
if you go over to a group of people and you leave, then they start
Okay.
talking about you. Just like get out. Like if you're
Okay.
done, you're done.
I'm glad we cleared this up. We're asking the tough questions. Have you ever gone on a Christmas Day swim?
No, but that does happen.
That's a thing. Do you know about the Christmas Day swim?
Yeah, they go down to like a local like. Do you wanna tell?
Well, I feel it would be like foolish to just like breeze over it now. I feel we kind of like owe it to them. You're dying to know. I can see the anticipation.
So every Christmas morning, yeah, people get up like I don't.
It's like a polar
they're right in
plunge.
I don't think they're well in the head, but they get up at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and they will go down to the local like harbor or like the local like lake. That's
Local
in-
body of water.
Like so, they go down to like Loch Derg, where I'm from. It's called Loch Derg, and it's called the Lochturk Swim, and it's it's for charity, and they do it every Christmas morning. But it's so
noble, but write a check. I just have to say, that sounds really cold. Okay, do you have? I appreciate zest for life, yada yada. Okay, do you have a shamrock in your house?
No.
No. Oh, wait, don't. No, I just think.
I mean,
have you ever cooked
I'm
like
trying
a
to
shamrock
think, do I have
salad?
anything that's kind of like Irish, like Irishy?
When's the last time you had a shamrock shake?
I think I had one 2 years ago.
They're mighty delicious, by the way.
You all love those.
Okay, this one is a trivia question. Can you name the frosted oat cereal with marshmallow surprises?
It's Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
It's
Yes,
Lucky Charms,
thank you.
right? Yeah. Okay.
Now, okay, getting a little arrogant. Okay, can you name all of the charms? And by the way, I don't need the card. Do you guys know the charms?
There's no way. I mean, there's a heart in there.
Pink
right?
hearts.
There's a pink heart. There's a shamrock.
Oh, there probably is. Yeah, green clovers. Yeah. Pink hearts, yellow
is there
moons.
Is there a shoe thing?
Purple horseshoes, green clovers, and then there's one that's kind of I think it's a throwaway, but it's blue diamonds. Well done. Okay, now, when is the last time you wrote a limerick? I feel like it's...
Never.
You were born in Limerick.
Please, you guys are listening to me now. Do you think I'm good at English? Not at hope.
Well, it's a good thing
I can barely
I
speak
did.
English.
Oh, it's a good thing I
writing
did.
in Limerick. There's no way.
I wrote you a limerick.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, that's I don't know if it's sweet,
Relax
but
out there.
I know because I feel limericks are a talent. All right.
Okay.
A young chef named Stuart
O'Keefe.
whips up tastiness beyond
Belief.
Check out the Quick Six
Fix.
for his best cooking tricks. Order now, or I'm giving you grief. That's a limerick.
Brief. Okay.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Did you write that? Well, I mean,
Well,
obviously you did.
Did I
mean,
hire a writer?
no, but
Yeah.
did you fill in the spaces or no?
It's called writing.
Need to back.
It's a
yeah,
shame I
he's
didn't.
really good at writing.
It's
Actually.
a shame I didn't write a second verse. Oh
I've
wait,
read some
I
of your
did.
stuff.
Okay. It's got recipes simple and brief, be it chicken or salmon or beef. If you pick up this book, it will teach you to cook it. Your next dinner, you'll be the chief. Something like that. It needs some work.
He needs the book.
Good. I feel like that my book of limericks is coming out next March. Okay, what's the one food you just can't eat?
There's a few of them.
What are they, Stuart?
So horseradish. That's terrible. I mean, come on.
What? What's what?
It's making fun of the Irish.
Food won't be offended.
Um,
You're not speaking on behalf of all. This
so
is not
must-
the Miss Universe pageant.
Okay.
You're not speaking on behalf of all of Ireland. Unless
I feel like
you
I
choose
am
to.
right now. Pickles, I can't stand them.
Pickles?
Horseradish, mustard, wasabi.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
I
you.
know.
You just won a book, by the way. I have a book for you.
It's that heat, that nasally heat I can't deal with. I love spicy food, but that kind of spice, I just can't. That heat, it's just no.
So pickles, wasabi,
Mustard,
mustard.
horseradish. Horseradish is the worst. It is. It's
Easy.
no. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand the
So
taste.
is it
Even
hard
when
to
they put
think-
in creme fraiche and the drizzle over steak, you're like, no, stop trying to fool me.
But sometimes mustard is an ingredient in a rib sauce. Do
Mustard-
you cook with these things anyway because people like them? I mean, I feel like it's
Yes,
kind of rude
yes,
to
I
deprive
do.
people of
Yes,
mustard
I
and
do.
pickles.
I don't like a mustard cream sauce. I can deal with
Mustard cream-
Dijon mustard, the grainy mustard. No.
What about what about a coarse ground dill?
No.
Okay. Again, I'm glad we're working this out. It's important.
It is. It's important.
Tell me a little bit. You look like you're ready to jump off the stage.
No, not at all.
Tell me a little bit more about the book because it isn't just
Yes, the book,
what.
sorry.
Let's talk about the book. Ribs is among them, but you also have. So, how did you come up with this idea? First of all,
So, I've been wanting a book for a long time, but I always wanted to bring out a book that one actually worked. That wasn't just this great title. 6 ingredients, 6 minutes prep, 6 minutes cleanup. I actually wanted. It's for the home cook. That's why I wrote the book. And I like to cook a lot of these recipes because they're fast, they're easy, more time to spend with your friends or family out of the kitchen and less time in the kitchen. And look, everybody's busy and everybody finds it really hard to cook, to spend time in the kitchen. I get it. I'm busy too. Going to the supermarket, the grocery store is pretty much, I think, such an awful experience, I think, for a lot of people. And it's just daunting to go around the aisles and so forth to get so many ingredients to make this one recipe. And
So
get
you
home.
have a section in the book that's basically stock your pantry with
yeah.
these things,
So
and then
I do have the pantry list at the beginning. You don't have to get everything on that pantry list, but like salt, pepper, olive oil, canned tomatoes, like pastas, like
So those are your
simple
go-to
things
staples.
that last a long time in your kitchen and won't spoil. And then the 6 ingredients are fresh ingredients that you should go to the store. Now, every recipe is not 6 ingredients. Some are 3, some are 4.
Right.
And you'll have the rest in your pantry.
6 or less doesn't sound
6
as catchy. The quick
Yeah.
6 or less fix doesn't roll off the tongue.
And then when it comes to cooking, I think the prep and the cleanup are both either side of the cooking.
Now, when you were doing the cleanup portion, did you set a timer, and when you got to like 5:45, just throw the rest out? Did you? Just
Here was the thing, because I would get like the objects, like the equipment that you would have when you were making the dish.
The dish, yeah.
Right. So how long does it take to clean like a sheet pan? How long does it take to clean a saucepan? So I would do.
I'm really just
I would do
kidding.
it once.
Yeah.
And then I would have that for the rest of the book.
Right, so
I
you didn't
wouldn't
have
be doing
to
it like
constantly
every
be
single
washing
time.
sheet
No.
pans. Like, okay,
When I'm making the recipe, I'm like, okay, I know the sheet pan takes 25 seconds, and like a pot.
That's,
takes,
like, serious. You
pot
are
takes
serious,
10 or
like-
15 seconds, and so. But I also keep the equipment down to a minimum, because it's like
It should be
finish,
simple and
like
easy.
a bomb went off in your kitchen. It's like, so I just tried to cut all that down
Yeah.
as much as I can, and I put it into 6 because I loved like just the number 6 and the 6 ingredients. I was like, okay, how can we do it on the other side? So
what would you say for people who are kind of intimidated by cooking? What do you think is the biggest misconception about like tackling a dish in the kitchen? Do you think there is one? Is it just go for it? Just like, what is it?
No, I mean, I would say, honestly, if you're trying to get back in the kitchen, or you really want to just start cooking right now, I would say that how to tackle it is like, just for example, this book. Pick a recipe that you want. Maybe, you have a work week. Pick, like, we'll say you're going to do 2 recipes in the week. Pick out the recipes, look at it the night before, or if you're at the grocery store, pick up the ingredients the night before and then cook it the next night. So
less
when you're
overwhelming.
done with work, you're just going home, and then your stuff is in the kitchen. That's what I would say. Break it up.
Yeah.
It makes it even easier, because going to the store is exhausting, and then coming home with bags, it's tiring. And then you've had a full day at work, and in New York, like work is work here. So
It is.
I get
We are serious about work here.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Just like on the beach in California.
So, when you were, thinking more broadly about tackling writing a book, I mean, did you ever dream this big, by the way, when you were a kid?
No, not when I was a kid. When I was more like 16, 17, I wanted it. Like I wanted to like be on TV, but like since I became a chef, like I found a great way to do it, and I love creating things that makes
Combining 2 things you love.
yeah, and like I love like the buzz I get out of like making someone like happy through my food, or of making something really easy for them to do, or someone says, "Oh my God, I made that recipe last night from your book," which a few of my friends did.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Like it worked out. It was great. Like that gives me like a great feeling.
Yeah.
So it's kind of addictive in a way.
Yeah. What was the hardest part about this process? Is the hardest part starting, or is the hardest part doing it? Like, I feel like the idea of tackling a book sounds so intimidating.
Well, I broke it down into chapters, because I feel like you need to figure out how you want to break this book down. I broke it down into like breakfast, like soup, salads, beef, chicken, pasta, like so. Because I always feel like, when you ask yourself, what do I want to eat for dinner tonight? I'm like, I'd love pasta, or like, I'd love like a steak, or I'd love, I always say that answer when I ask myself that question. Not like, I want dinner, so I have to go to the dinner chapter and start flicking through, just go straight to the protein or the carb, pasta, whatever you want. So I did that first. So I wrote out that, and then I was like, okay, how many recipes per chapter?
Yeah.
So I'm like averaging out like 9, 10 per chapter. So then you go research, and you go look at all my recipes I've done before. Now I have to come up with new ones, and then you just have to fill those gaps in with like fast, simple recipes.
If you were to say, if you were to kind of like tell someone that had goals of starting a book, or just kind of like didn't know what they wanted to do, because you had a moment where you were kind of
I was like, this is gonna be
undecided.
so
You were
hard.
kind of like, you went through a period where you were undecided, or kind of maybe felt like you didn't have direction. What advice would you give to that person? Or even your younger self? What would you say? I'm going to get all Oprah. And
It's
what
not.
would you say to your younger
I
self?
would say it's not as daunting as it seems.
Yeah.
Once you write it down and break it up.
Yeah, and
I
that
think
could
was
be
the
said about most
big thing for
challenges,
me.
probably.
What?
That could be
Sorry?
said about most challenges. It's probably
Yeah.
less daunting than it seems.
When you think of it in your head, it's like impossible.
Yeah.
But I literally had to like get Post-its and stick it all over the wall of my apartment and really
Yeah.
figure it out from there.
Yeah. We're going to open it up to questions in the audience, and I want to make sure Mustard Lady. I'm sorry, what's your name? Erica, I'm sorry, I won't call you a Mustard Lady anymore, but I want to get you a book because I appreciate your shout out. You're first.
Hi. This is going to be an Irish-related question.
Okay.
Okay. Have you ever found a four-leaf clover before?
I have.
I have 5
Stop.
times.
5?
I have.
5.
In my
Have you
backyard.
actively been pursuing 4-leaf?
I look around for them, honestly. Like, if I see clovers on the floor, I'll be like...
You go right
And you
there.
have too.
I have, yeah, in my backyard in Ireland. Back
Yeah.
at home.
Do you consider yourself lucky? No.
It doesn't really
Just
work.
straight out.
It
no.
doesn't work. The message here. Oh, wow. But thank you. Okay. What's the next question? Do we have another one out there?
Hi.
Oh, right in the back there.
Hi, thank you for being here. I wanted to know, what's the best advice you can give to someone who's just starting out cooking?
Best advice. It's always kind of a tough one. Best advice. I kind of hit on it there earlier. Pick out a book that's really simple. Just like take like one recipe at a time. Start off with one recipe a week and just focus on that and just make sure you have everything to make that recipe perfect. Whether it is buy a new pot, buy a new knife, have a chopping board. I think equipment is so important when it comes to cooking in the kitchen, and having the right tools at hand makes the job so much easier.
I do like a sharp knife. Like these dull knives
Exactly.
are the worst.
Yeah. Now, if you have
That's
a
how
dull
I
knife,
feel.
it just
I'm not a chef, but
it just
that's my
sucks
answer.
when you're trying to cut a tomato. Like, and you have a dull knife, you can't even slice a tomato. It's like, it just makes the job so much more challenging. So that's kind of the advice I would give. Just focus on one recipe a week. Look at it in its entirety. Read a recipe 3 times, right through, before you even start it.
Also, don't put a good knife in the dishwasher. It's not that dirty. You can rinse that off. Don't you agree, though? It's going to rust.
They're expensive.
Get a good knife. Okay, after you.
Hi. What was some of your culinary role models growing up?
Roll.
In Ireland, I used to love watching Darina Allen when I was a kid.
Who?
Darina Allen. She's kind of like the Martha Stewart of Ireland, and she's been on the Today Show a few times. She does things here in the States too. She's like the woman of like Irish
Yeah.
cooking. Like
Yeah.
she has like Bibles out, with just traditional Irish like dishes. I always watched her when I was growing up. When I moved to America, I love Tyler Florence. I think his style of cooking is very much the same as mine. Like it's just very just rustic and farm to table. I don't like saying that word, but it is. So I just feel like it's been overused so much. But yeah, I just really like his food. I've been to his restaurants in San Francisco, and yeah, totally my style. He's probably my biggest role model here.
It's better than factory to table. Doesn't sound quite as charming.
Factory to table.
Factory to table.
Doesn't.
We have time for 2 more. Who do you have?
Hello.
Hi.
I just wanted to know, I know a lot of people use wine when they're cooking, and I really love wine. So I just wanted to know, what kind of wine would you recommend everyone have in their house
That's a good
to use
question.
for cooking and drinking as well?
We like her.
Whatever. Here, I mean, there can be so many answers for that. But when I'm cooking with wine, I cook with what I drink. So if it's a $30 bottle of wine, because you're only going to be throwing in like a half a cup, maybe a cup of wine into a dish. So it's
You
not.
cook with white wine more often or red wine more often?
Depends what
If
dish
it's
I'm
beef,
making. If it's beef,
it's
red wine.
and
Yeah,
then if
pretty
it's
much
chicken,
red.
it's white.
It's
and-
what? Yeah, or
'cause
fish.
Have you
yeah.
ever poured red wine on chicken? It's just
mean-
I learned that the hard way. That's like hideous looking.
Yeah,
Gross.
there are recipes out there with red wine, but
Yeah, it's
yeah,
gross.
I mean,
Um,
like coq au vin.
but yeah. Okay. Yes. Thank you. See, you should have a book.
There's
A simple book. By the way, so if it's a white, give me a white. Just throw one out there for coq au vin. What white should you use? Or
for
red?
coq au vin, or red for coq.
Yeah,
I
red.
would use I use Pinot Noir.
There we
coq au
go.
vin.
There we
Yeah.
go.
I wouldn't use like a Cabernet, like a really deep, like earthy Cabernet for chicken. You think you need a lighter red.
Okay.
So like a Pinot. I love Pinot, so I would use that.
I always feel bad because you're burning off the alcohol, though, and I feel bad
Yeah.
about that. We have one more question.
Do you see any connections or similarities maybe between your visual arts inclination and your culinary arts?
Ooh, that's good.
Yes, it's a good question because when I was in college, we did like aesthetics. And it was a really funny class because we would get, how do you describe it? We had like big blank pieces of paper and we would draw the plate like on the sheet, and then it was like whatever dish it was, and we'd have to like color in how we would place the food on the plate, and we did this for weeks. And so definitely my artistic side, even from high school and so forth. So I was very happy I was good at that, and with colors, and presentation is everything.
And the presentation in this is beautiful.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful book.
I was on set when we shot this. I flew home to Ireland to shoot it because I worked with Sharon Hearn-Smith before and Joanne Murphy, and they're just such a great team. And you'll see the photographs in the book are stunning. They are so like rich with color. The food really pops out, and it just makes the food look even more
Delicious.
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 Yeah.
It really does look delicious. The book is The Quick Six Fix. You can get it today. It just came out today in bookstores. Woo!
Thanks,
and
guys.
on Amazon.
Thank you.
And you can follow him on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Chef Stuart O'Keefe, everyone. Thank you.